राम ओम। श्री राम जय राम जय जय 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 राम ओम। श्री राम जय राम जय राम ओम। श्री राम जय राम जय 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 जय राम Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Ram,
Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Ram, Om.
Jai Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Ram,
Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Ram. Om Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Hari Om to everybody. Continuing the topic which Papa made us well yesterday, the devotee replied back, the key takeaway message I feel, the Almighty is pointing me towards is, become more and more mindful of the non-judgmental witness. That quality, That means we are trying to train our mind. That He is constantly showing us in nature. Last week we were involving ourselves in the paddy work, in the ashram field. 3-4 months back, we had cultivated a lot of vegetables there. And so when we go there, suddenly these days, the Mother Earth remains a witness. What do you want? You want to grow vegetables? Okay. Now you want to remove all these things? Okay. Now you want to grow paddy? Okay. Non-judgmental. No, this will be a failure. This will not be good. This is bad. Does it say so? No. So everywhere, suppose we try to see the non-judgmental factor. When we came to the ashram almost on a permanent basis, there were few buildings. Now there are so many buildings. Space remaining the same. So when we go to a building or room, we can see the same space there. So like that, suppose we start training our mind, the witness consciousness in the form of non-judgmental factor. Probably it might help us. We have to try it. We remember the beautiful word of Sri Ma Anandamayi, that if you want to realize the truth, you have to see everything as it is, without choosing anything. The choiceless awareness, choiceless. That is called non-judgmental. There are so many words to give us this clarity. So Sakshi, we are trying to understand the word Sakshi. Be a witness to everything. So ultimately one has to resort to inward journey. But if we don't sufficiently prepare our inner equipment, the mind becomes unruly, You can bring Vinobaji. Unruly. Even in Srimad Bhagavad Gita, chapter number 6, elaborately the Lord explains about Dhyana Yoga. Now, the unruly behavior, it can be easily understood. See, when one sits for dhyana, the mind does not become one-pointed. It starts running around and one cannot meditate. But there is some benefit if one observes the wandering of the mind. When one does something with full concentration, the mind remains steady and hence one cannot see what its tendencies and inclinations are. Dhyana is an opportunity to examine the mind. In the morning, I sat for prayer. and the bird chirp. Very, very, very important thing. Very important. How does the mind take us away? Beautifully he has brought it out. This reminded me of an identical chirp I heard 12 years back in a place I had visited. Then I remembered the person I was visiting and this friend telling me of his son's death in a railway accident. We are sitting for dhyana. All that happened was a bird chirp. Then I remembered all the other places I had visited, such as Mumbai, Nagpur. Thus the mind runs here and there, helter-skelter. It just needs the connection to continue wandering. It just needs the connection to continue wandering. After meditating, try writing down an account of that session. Then read it as though you were reading someone else's biography. By reading, know very well that it is not your account. It is your mind's account. You will discover the mind's propensities. Next time, try to keep the mind from following them. Again, it might become academic. Nice to hear. So when we sit there, what we feel nowadays, unless and until the mind tries to break the watcher and the watched, during our waking state, if one is exclusively dedicated, then he has no problem. He can retire. He can retire to solitude for days together. First 1 or 2 days, the mind may go here and there. Then some restriction on the food, some restriction on the sleep. Because all these things it matters. Many of you might have gone to Bhagavad Gita. He says, how does it go out? He says, if you eat too much, finished. If you sleep too much, finished. Jnatyashnastu yogasti najaikangasma nashrata nachadi swapnashirasya jagrato nevadasana. Success in yoga is not for the person who eats too much or does not eat at all for long periods. O Arjuna, for one who sleeps too much or keeps awake for long. So when one is in exclusive, suppose God has freed him from all the so-called responsibilities, and if he retires to solitude, where he is free to impose any such disturbance, impose any restriction to ward off the disturbance. That is another one. We are talking about ours. None of us can do that. So what do? We can only, because the moment you sit for 1 hour, half an hour, 1 hour, the mind is set at rest. By mentally chanting, probably the whole thing comes to, you won't say still, it is coming down. The outgoing tendencies of the mind stops, gets slowly concentrated on the nama. And then finally, probably may lead us to something higher. It will be a pleasant feeling. We come back. We attend to our various activities. See what is happening there. If we are back to square one, the experience that we have gained is prasthana, no doubt, a sattvic experience, that's all. Not an experience that stays with me. That is why afraid this thought comes. Please lead me to a stage where there is no difference between the watcher and the watched. Because when I come out of this, I should be able to maintain the same thing. So let us practice. This is easy for us, Any object that we see, we try to see the other side. Yesterday, one devotee asked, sit silent. Is it physical silence of the mouth or thought? If so, how to do that? See, we all heard about silence from school, no? We will be making a lot of noise as the teacher comes. Silence! And what does it mean? First idea, not the dictionary meaning. Experiential meaning is that no disturbance, no other sound, calm, quiet. Then only we will hear when the teacher says, I'll be able to hear. If kalavara is going on, I will not be able to hear. So we are introduced to the real silence, silence, observing silence. Observing silence means we don't talk, vocal. That is what we learn, nothing more than that. So our vocal talking, it stops. We concentrate so that the assimilation will be there. At that time we did not know that silence meant undisturbed state of the mind where the stimuli or the inputs, when they come, they are well received. If the concentration is not there, it is not well received. We will not be able to remember at all. It will not become a part of our life. So first job is undisturbed, start thinking about it. So when that is necessary, because the disturbances, will not permit me, will not allow me to develop the concentration. So in all our worldly work, we need concentration for success, for a sense of perfection, excellence, joy. Somebody sings, and when we hear, suppose the mind goes out, we will not be able to hear. Though for all practical purposes, we are sitting there. So sit silent means, initially, yes, freeing ourselves from the sound portion. Then outer sound, then inner sound. So that means thoughts. Detach from the mind. So here also, one fine morning, we suppose it, and we cannot detach. We can detach from the usual routine thoughts only when we get attached to something nobler, something higher, something. If you are fired with an ideal, then this becomes secondary. So many pages somebody will write. He will not be interested. But the cream, no? What is it? Cream. That is what is important. So they detach from the mind. This can be done only by regular practice. Everybody has experimented. The base text can be the 6th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. But you have to try. There he says that we should sit erect. So many things. Elaborate. But what is more important, it is there in the text. But when I go with my limitations, the mind may give me the feeling that it is not unruly. but still I may not be moving towards that. So what is more important is the one word, the outer activity should be compatible with inner aspiration. People like us, you will not cut off from the daily routine, who cannot. God has not willed that we can cut off and then go elsewhere, where we remain absolutely free from all these things, conditions. Even those who are doing, seva in the ashram or anything, morning 5 o'clock, I have to go for them. They will be there, and some disturbance comes, they are upset. So this we cannot avoid in the family, profession, social, society, so in ashram also. So we have to find out what is practically possible for us. Is it practically possible for us even with the framework in which God has placed in? So here the answer comes from our Mahatmas. It is possible provided we change the attitude. So one of the methods is try to see the non-judgmental factor in everything. It may not be possible in everything, but whenever we get a pause moment, we can try that. That means we are always trying to associate ourselves with this non-judgmental factor, this witness factor. Knowing the watcher is the toughest part, no doubt. Who is telling? The watcher himself is telling this. That's the problem. So we have separated him from us. That is why one person said, when you are not an object, you are God. I am closely bound to body and mind. There seems to be a lot of meaning and points here. Since I am closely bound to the body and mind, the process of detachment seems difficult. But let us forget about this detachment word. Non-judgmental. When we become, that means we are not identifying ourselves with that. We can call it a detachment of non-judgmental. Kindly think about it. We are not passing any judgment. We are not forming any fixed concept. So keep on associating with that thought. Suppose we do that, and then when we close our eyes, slowly the thoughts are being witnessed. So we have to first make use of the nama here. Nama will remove, will to a very great extent arrest all thoughts. The more we concentrate on the nama, there's one word Papa used to knowingly chant. You must chant knowingly. That means the mind is not allowed to go anywhere else. It is concentrated on the chanting. So when we knowingly chant, even if it's for 5 minutes, we know it is possible, it's not possible. So we can try for 10 minutes, 15 minutes. When we knowingly chant, our thoughts are arrested. And finally then some feeling develops, some positive experience we will feel. Then we try to stabilize that feeling. And again try, when we come back to the outer world, we try in the same thing. So this should, simultaneously we try. And one day, we have been promised. We all must inculcate the habit of reflecting by going inside our inner sanctuary. We must distance ourselves from our work, ego, and even our dearest emotions. If we practice detaching our mind from our body, memory, experience, work, society around us, we will reach such a place which is the primal source, from where the world was created, where there was no body, no chitta, no world, but something was there. Some call it pure existence, some call it non-existence, some call it supreme spirit. People grasp it as per the capacity and comprehension. But that is the only primal source. If we access that, the chitta will become extremely peaceful, pleasant, serene. This is a matter of experience, not of imagination. So going inside is a must. But to prepare to go inside, we have to do a lot. People like us, who are involved in various types of activities. Look at our Papa's life, He was able to withdraw from the common run of life exclusively, and then he put himself exclusively on that, or he was made to go. And with all that preparation, with the less and less conditioning from outside us, still he was resorting to solitude. In Mataji's case, 2.5 years, it was free from all routine. And we are trying to follow with all the activities, so that some other system has to be evolved. As soon as the inward journey session is over, you are very much back to the usual life. You and I, not only you. Where God makes a sense of individuality to interact from the individual level also. So we have to now keep on praying even during this thing. Kindly give me a technique by which I will not lose my balance. Because only with this mind I am trying to go inward. And it will be very difficult to maintain the sattvic attitude throughout my waking state. I must try. Because nobody will be able to give us a clear-cut do's and don'ts. In an organization, in a family, in our professional field, in our society, so many things happen. Something may be right to us, wrong to us, something we like, we don't like. And we react, they react, the world reacts. And in all these gulmal, we have to maintain this balance, That is why it is the toughest. So we have to devise some method. So one method which that we should try is to have a non-judgmental attitude towards whatever is happening during our non-inward journey time. So that this non-judgmental tendency or habit will help us to go inside. Otherwise it will be totally a disturbed mind. And Nama helps a lot. One devotee had sent an email stating that he went to the doctor, he had BP or something. So the doctor said, cool down. So after some time, he took to chanting of Ram Nam. And after some time it came down. Again he said, cool down. So again he sat there. and it came down. So what happened? The disturbance of the stressed mind was made to become free by concentrating on one mantra. So like that, this disturbance should go, So Ramnam not only helps for our spiritual progress, it also helps us whenever such problems come. That is how God blessed the devotee with that. It is difficult when I am having pain, it is difficult even to chant His name. Because the pain overpowers me. If it is intense, Regarding Vacha, it cannot be brought within the ambit of words. How is the state of awareness bereft of thoughts? That is possible for my mind to conceive. It is difficult, it is impossible for my mind to conceive. Because when I close my eyes, I sometimes feel aware that no thoughts are arising. But then that process which evaluates and concludes that there are no thoughts, also just another thought. So it almost feels like a never-ending inner spiral of thoughts. Spiral bending. So we need to stay on the process and leave rest to Papa on how to bring all the teachings into suitable actions at the appropriate time into the body, mind, and spirit. We should be. Let us not conceive, what is silence, what is stillness. Okay, they have given us some guidance, but let us be on a process suitable for our equipment. And we will definitely get. When the moment He prompts us to take up some practice, suiting to our destiny, then He will definitely help us. So initially, many of you might have known or might be practicing yoga. Yoga means not the real sense. Yoga means union with God. But the moment when we say yoga, some asanas, some exercise, that also really helps, because there, what happens? Total concentration. Each and every yogic exercise, even in Anuloma, Viloma or Pranayama, 4 seconds to breathe in, 16 seconds to hold, and 8 seconds to breathe out. One method, somebody else. What happens then? Especially the 16 seconds to hold, no other thought will be there. It will be a struggle, We get a taste of this, concentration. Anything, suppose you take the Bhujangasana, anything, what happens then? When we are involved in that exercise, yogic practice, total involvement is there. So something like that also we can try. Not merely physical exercise. Physical exercise is necessary, To sit quiet you need a sound body. So that is also needed. To sit on a particular posture, it's a tough job. Because we have been reading an unruly life. 2-3 days back we were telling, because we started eating from the dining table. When we get aged, the stage comes when we cannot sit. The leg will not cooperate with us. Our feet will not cooperate. So these exercises, previously for making dosha or idli, we were doing that grinding. In yoga, there is a practice. We all do that in the morning, like this. Then only we realize what all exercise we were doing it under the banner of this cooking. We now realize how mothers who were active from 5 o'clock in the morning till 10 o'clock, very rarely they fall sick. Because their entire organs are put to different types of even washing, cleaning, sweeping. Just imagine. Today we are doing a lot of exercise to compensate. This is called Chaki. Chaki, you stretch your legs and then you do like this, 10 times. And reverse. The tangible gain is the mind is being trained to concentrate on the particular involvement. Not that the mind goes here and there. If it cannot go, then you cannot be a part of the practice. So we have to devise some method by which the body is also motivated to develop this. And then when we deal with outside, we try to some extent. With all this background and preparation, we try to go inward and see for ourselves how to develop this fitness consciousness. It has to come from our process. And God will definitely facilitate. We don't have to break our head. 100% guarantee is there. When He makes us to think on these things and when we take up something, He will facilitate everything. Oh, it's already 35. Tomorrow we will try to read a few...
Tomorrow is Sunday.
Tomorrow is Sunday. Day after tomorrow is a holiday for us. Good. Day after tomorrow, we will try to read a few slokas from the 6th chapter. We will select. And it might be. So initially, that will also help us. But if there you are given, elaborate. Elaborate means elaborate. It's quite a 47 slokas are there, out of which we can select something. We will try to read, dwell on it, so that this topic is very, very, very interesting. We are trying to integrate the practice, integrate the ideal with our daily life. Maybe the 1% of the theme, 99% of our usual life. Then slowly 2%, 3% like that. We will try that. This is the prompting He gives now. There should be a conscious effort on our part to integrate so that ultimately the watcher and the watched become one. I know now that if I keep on pursuing to capture the watcher, I will not be able to. Because the watcher element is still with me, even now when I am trying to experience the watcher. The watcher is with me throughout, whether I am in the outer world or inner world. At no time he is away from me. But to become aware of him, he puts certain things. But all the same, I should know that he is with me. He has been with me, he is with me. So kindly think about all these things. Each one will get the inner guidance. Day after tomorrow, we will try to explore something from the Bhagavad Gita. Hari Om. Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om Shri Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram, Om.
Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Ram, Om. Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Ram, Om.
Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram, Om.
Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Ram, Om.
Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram, Om.
Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Ram, Om.
Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram, Om. Om Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Hari Om to everybody.
Hari Om,
Hari Om. Hari Om.
Hari Om.